29th of August. Lies on Migration, 29th of August 2024. Now, RTE had PricewaterhouseCoopers on this morning. That's an auditing firm. Needless to say, I'd like to interview them if I could. Now, there has been great concern in Ireland over this migration business, and a lot of people are concerned. I'll not go as far as to say that they'd vote differently. That would be maybe too much to ask, but there is concern. But I just wanted to show you how the Spin Radio Television that gets 720 million euros of our money in 2 years tells these stories. The PricewaterhouseCoopers allegedly did a survey, and 54% of the people said they're in favour of working migrants. Now, straight away, you see how this is being spun. Most people don't have a problem with that Polish lady going around maybe attending to sick people, with people serving us our lunch and our meals, jobs that some of us won't do, and even where the garages are under terrible pressure, the labour is coming in to fix cars from Eastern Europe, and they're doing some good work there. So most people don't have a problem with that, but provided it's understood that when you bring in a man and he brings in his wife and 2 kids, you are putting a charge on the economy for a long time until they come to work. And you're also taking up school places and housing, depending on whether they're self-sufficient or not. So that has to be quantified. But apart from that anyway, no one is denying that that communism, COMMUNISM, and greenism has destroyed the economies of Europe, and so these people come here. I mean, why was Poland so poor? There was nothing in the shops, because this lovely communism causes poverty. But anyway, 54% don't mind working migrants or are in favour of it. See the lie there. This is to throw the listener's mind off the fact that all these buildings in Ireland are being taken over. Magpies are making millions out of our tax, housing people who come here and are not working and are walking around the streets and doing all kinds of things. There was an incident I know recently where a migrant in a place produced his person to children playing and was taken and investigated by the Gardaí. That happened recently. That I just happen to know that because when I'm in the know I get these calls. So we also know there are problems with law and order, and there is the big fear that we're getting the contents of the prisons of the world dumped in here. There's no proper check on them, no proper vetting. So you see, what they're doing is they're trying to tilt the mind of the listener. Oh yeah, 50, that's good. Now I agree with that myself. And in doing so, they hide the other thing. They hide the migrants who are coming in, shipped in here by the EC with no skills, with no checking or nothing. So then the next thing was 84%. Now remember, the 54% is migrants working. The other thing is 84%, and that doesn't say what the other 46%. I say a lot of them are out of a job. I mean, you must remember that we must only have these people in here where there are jobs that we can't fill. Now, 84% of migrants are in favour. 84% are in favour of migrants. There's no definition of migrant given. So you see the way they have the lie told. 84%, I don't believe that at all. I believe what they've done is to muddy the waters, to confuse or conflate the fact that all migrants are bunched in the one thing. Certainly, there are people who always came to Ireland and they came here and they lived here or they retired here or whatever, and they may have been checked and all that. But there are a lot of migrants being sent home from EU don't send here. So the situation is if a Brazilian comes here to work and does his 3 years, he's horsed out. If the EU sends a fella from somewhere, from a prison in Pakistan, he must stay. See, so this is the way they are spinning it, and the lies they're telling, trying to get the people to accept their migration policy by telling us, confusing the difference between working migrants and giving us a question on migrants with no definition of what a migrant is. Putting them all in the one bunch and then asking the people what they think. It's not what I get going around the country. My honest opinion is that there are over 50% of people who do not want the present mass migration policy. But it must also be said, my objective is to stop people voting for the conventional parties, which is not very easy. You know that. But remember that the Greens, one of the main migrant crowd, are only 12 seats. I don't know, can you see that? They have only 12 seats in Dáil Éireann out of 158. And if there was a vote for the anti-migration, you could have 20 seats. But it'll not work out that way. 20 seats would outdo the Greens. It's possible there might be only 2 Green TDs after the next election. 20 seats would put our side in government that they'd have to listen and get the Greens off our back. So the fact even that there's 16%, that would still be a sizable vote. And don't forget, whatever this survey was, that 38% of the people don't vote at all. So it's still all to play for, folks. We'll see you back for something else. RTE will never allow any Conservative view be aired, and that's why we have to deal with them in due course. We'll see you back for something else. Good luck and thank you.